Hello, welcome back to Can Cook. I'm so excited to film a video today. I feel like I'm getting into the groove of it in the new year and I can't wait to film this video. I actually have work later on in a couple hours and I'm working late shifts this week, so I wanted to be organized and make my dinner in the morning when I have some time, so that when I get home and I'm exhausted and starving, I don't end up crying and eating cornflakes. So I'm going to show you what I'm making for dinner. I'm making chili con carne. I've got my recipe here that I've written down, super messy, a while ago, and I did film this ages ago, but it was when I was like super new and I thought I'll film it again. It's pretty easy. It's kind of similar to my spaghetti recipe, but I wanted to show you this. It's so yum. I love it for dinner, and this recipe you can freeze. So I usually eat half with Lindsay, my boyfriend, for dinner, and then we'll have it next week or on the weekend when we can't be bothered to cook. All right, so let's get started. Yay! I'm gonna start by having a sip of coffee. That's done. Glad that's out of the way. I'm gonna start by prepping my ingredients. So we need 1 brown onion. Oh, I just grabbed my knife. And it needs to be diced. On my Instagram, I've actually done a how to dice an onion video. And it was like, it's way back. I'll link it in my Insta stories when I post this video. It's when I first started, and I go through slowly, step by step, how to dice an onion, which a lot of you have said is really, really helpful. Okay, onion is diced. I'm just going to move that to one side on my board. Next up, carrot. We're going to grate the carrot. I've just got here, oh, those onions make me cry. A regular box grater. I love grating carrot just because I find it a really difficult veggie to slice really finely or chop really fine, because it's just like really hard and frustrating. So grating it just takes out all of that effort so quick. Okay, carrot done. Next up we have the capsicums. So I've just got here 2 capsicums. I'm going to slice away the flesh. So there's a little trick with capsicums, there's seeds all through the middle. So what you want to do is stand it upright, so with the green stem standing upright, and you just want to slice away at the cheek and turn it. You should get 4 slices. Oops, get that over. So you can see you're left with this. It's like a core, looks like an apple core. And you have cheeks of capsicum with no seeds, but this bottom part is still good to eat, so I just chop that, and then I discard this. I put it in the compost. We're just going to slice that into kind of just chunks. Alright, so I've got here my induction stove, which just means I can be anywhere in the kitchen, but at this stage you just move over to your stove and turn your pot on to a medium heat. I'm just going to throw in a tablespoon of olive oil. Just let that heat up a little bit. It only takes a couple minutes. So you know your pan is ready to go when you can put your hand over and you feel some heat under your hand. Or you can throw in like 1 little piece of onion and hear it sizzle. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the onion, so just slide the carrot out of the way. It's alright if a couple bits get in, that's totally fine. Throw in our onion. And you just want to give that a stir. You want to hear that sizzle, that's good. So we're just going to saute this until it's nice and soft and kind of translucent. And then we'll add in our carrot. So I'm just going to turn the heat up because I have induction and it's a bit like up and down with heat. I just want to keep hearing that sizzle. So just adjust your pan so that you can continue to hear that sizzle from the onion. And make sure you scrape down the sides of your pan so that everything's getting cooked properly. Okay, so my onion is looking translucent, so kind of see-through. Let me show you. I don't think you can really see, but anyway, I'm going to move on to adding the carrot. Just use my hands to throw that in. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more olive oil because it's just needs it. Okay, so the carrot's nice and soft. I'm going to add our beef. I've got 500 grams of beef mince. Okay, this is where you might need to turn up the heat because you want to have it sizzling. You want to brown that meat. I do a bit of a stabbing motion to just break up all of the meat. You can hear that sizzle now, hopefully. Let me get my microphone close. Okay, so my beef mince is fully brown now, which is looking really good, and some fat from the beef has released into the pan, so it's nice and juicy in there. I'm going to add my capsicums now. Give these a quick kind of toss around. They're kind of chunky, but they'll cook down and be nice and soft by the time we're finished this. Next up, we're going to do our spices. So what really separates this from a spaghetti sauce, so pretty much so far it's been the same as the spaghetti sauce except for the capsicum. Now we're going to add our spices, and this really turns it into a chili, which I love. So I'm going to start with chili powder, of course. Yeah, so it's a teaspoon of chili powder. You can do less if you don't like as much spice, but it is a chili, so I do like a little bit of heat. Teaspoon of cumin powder. Well, that's like a heaped teaspoon, but I love cumin. How good are these little jars? I got them from IKEA when I was organizing my whole house Marie Kondo style. Teaspoon of coriander powder. So we've had chili, cumin, coriander, and then half a teaspoon of paprika. I think this is just really nice for a bit of colour. Makes it a bit more red. That's in. Excellent, we'll give that a stir. I'm also going to do a teaspoon of cooking salt. Okay, next up, we're going to do our red wine. So half a cup of red wine. I just guessed there. Give this a nice stir. We're going to cook off the alcohol. It'll kind of hit you in the face, like that strong alcohol smell, and then it will start to smell nice and sweet. So the capsicum's now starting to soften a little bit. Carrot and onion definitely cooked down. And it's starting to smell really nice, especially with all those spices. Okay, next up we're going to add our tinned tomatoes. I've got tinned chopped tomatoes, but I also have heaps of fresh tomatoes, so I'm going to add some of that as well. I'm going to start with one tin of tomatoes. I'll just quickly chop my fresh tomatoes because I want to use them up and they're delicious, so just going to dice them. But if I didn't have fresh tomatoes, I would use 2 tins of tomatoes, which is perfect as well. And there you go. Okay, this is looking really good. Now I'm going to put the lid on, let this simmer away for 10 minutes. So simmer means just a few bubbles every second or so. Not like a rapid boil and not nothing. So we want a simmer. While that's cooking for 10 minutes, I'm going to do a quick clean up. So it's been 10 minutes. In this time, I've stirred the pot maybe 2 times. I had a dance and I cleaned up. It's really important that you learn to like clean as you go, because then it just makes cooking so much easier when you have a clean workspace, and once dinner's ready, it's just less of a hassle. So I cleaned up a little bit. Now we're going to have a look at our chili. looking really, really nice actually. The capsicums are starting to soften. It smells really nice and spicy. Like I can smell cumin a lot. So next we're going to add, now that it's like cooked a little bit, we're going to add some red kidney beans. So I just strain them and rinse them under cool water under the tap. So throw those in. Just tinned kidney beans. To have a taste and check the seasoning, because I might want to add more spices, add more salt. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to do that now, and then we're going to let it cook for a little while longer with the kidney beans. Just letting this cool off a bit. Because the amount of times I've burnt my mouth tasting food and then you can't taste anything, it's very annoying. Yeah, I'm going to do more salt. Just a pinch. I think the spices are good. I might actually add some red wine vinegar. I feel like it needs a little zinginess. So I like to just put my thumb over the red wine vinegar because sometimes it can go a bit overboard. So that was probably only like a teaspoon and a half maybe. Sometimes if you're like, what is it missing? Sometimes it's just salt. If you add a touch more salt, everything comes to light. So you may not know, but with salt, unlike other flavorings like pepper, cumin, all of that, you're supposed to taste that. You're supposed to taste the pepper, taste the cumin. But salt, its job is to draw out the flavors of what's already in there. So you shouldn't taste salt, but you should taste a really nice beef flavor, capsicum, cumin, like everything should taste on point, and the salt just helps with that. You know, the tomato flavor shouldn't taste salty. That little bit of salt just brought it all together, same with the vinegar. And like once I swallow, I get that hit of chili and cumin and coriander powder. That's spicy, but it's not overpowering. Now you can add more spice if you like, and I might after I cook it for a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to put the lid on and give it another 10 minutes and get those capsicums really nice and soft. So it's been another 10 or 15 minutes. And my chili con carne is looking so delicious. The capsicum is nice and soft. And everything's cooked down really well. I'm just going to have one more little taste. So, I'll turn that off now. How I would normally serve this is on top of some brown rice. I love it with brown rice. It's really nice. Some fresh coriander on top. And a dollop of Greek yogurt. I always just use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream because I always have it in the fridge, and I think it gives that really nice like tart sour flavor that contrasts really well with like sweet spicy from the chili. Oh, and sometimes I have some corn chips in the cupboard, so I'll put a few corn chips in as well. It's such a yummy dinner. I love making this for people as well, like for a footy night or like a Friday night. It's an easy one, it feeds heaps of people. Yeah, and it's not too tricky. So because I'm having mine tonight, I'm going to let this cool down a little bit and then pop it in the fridge and make my brown rice and everything tonight. But if you were making it straight away for dinner, I would have your brown rice on while you're cooking this, because brown rice takes forever to cook. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It was really fun to film this video, and I'm so pumped that my dinner is already made, and it is, what time? It's 9 a.m. There's nothing better. I love knowing what's for dinner early in the morning, and I love coming home to dinner already being cooked. So give this one a go at home, let me know if you make it, and if you like making this recipe, you should try my spaghetti, because it's pretty similar, minus a few ingredients, and if you can nail this, you can nail spaghetti and vice versa. See you soon on Can Cook. Thank you so much for watching. And if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you should, because I post photos of everything and recipes and all of that. So my Instagram handle is @cancook_. So you can find me there.